Fable 5 will ruin lives, and that's just the beginning. I think we're fucked. Not in the world is ending soon kind of fuck. I mean the quiet kind of fuck. The type where you wake up one morning, open LinkedIn, and realize your entire career has been replaced by agentic chatbots. Remember when ChatGPT first came out? People were asking it homework questions like they had just summoned a fucking demon. What's 100 times 4? The AI answers in 2 seconds. We were losing our fucking minds. Teachers were panicking. Students suddenly became Albert Einsteins. Half the world thought humanity had peaked. The other half thought Skynet was finally about to be a reality.
It's better than most of the writing that I've gotten from students over the decades.
I would say it has been a explosion of interest around not just ChatGPT, but around generative AI more broadly.
Fast forward a couple of years, everyone is so numb to it, you would even get trolled for using ChatGPT to do certain things. Now people complain because the AI took 7 seconds instead of 4 to complete a task. Ugh. Claude is so slow today. Brother, do you hear yourself? 7 seconds. Imagine saying that to someone in 1998. Yeah, this machine answered every question I've ever had. But it took 7 fucking seconds. They would have slapped the Wi-Fi out of you. We adapt so fast, it's disgusting. Humanity treats technological breakthroughs the same way drug addicts treat tolerance. We always need a bigger hit. AI is like porn. The first time you use it, you're like, holy shit. 2 years later, you're asking it to build a multiplayer dinosaur dating simulator in Rust, while explaining quantum mechanics in Shakespearean English, because normal prompts don't hit anymore. That's just how humans work. Give us teleportation, and 6 months later, some idiot on Twitter is going to tweet, "Why the fuck does teleportation take 3 seconds?" The post is going to get 5 million likes. People will literally be arguing in the comments why it should happen instantly instead of taking 3 seconds. And someone somehow would blame Apple for making product that is not teleportation optimized. That's just the internet. We're impossible to satisfy, and that's exactly why Fable 5 scares me. Not because it's intelligent, powerful, or can code. We've been past that. What actually scares me is that all these things AI is doing right now that's currently blowing our minds would soon be normal and overlooked in years to come, and that's not a good thing, by the way. So, Fable 5 is back. The AI that had the internet acting like it was the second coming of Christ is finally back. All the tech creators are collectively creaming their pants. AI tech bros are making videos of how they built a full working app from start to finish in one afternoon. Some dude launches a startup before breakfast. Another guy accidentally replaces his entire internship with one prompt. Someone builds an entire game over the weekend because they got bored, leaving the part where they spent $500 in token for a 3JS HTML clone of Minecraft. Everybody is happy. Tokens budget are an all-time high for something that is said to be cheaper than actual human labor, the irony. But we somehow tend to forget that the first time this model ever dropped, just right when everybody was busy writing Anthropic and posting, bro, this changes everything. The government literally saw that and said, all right, everybody calm the fuck down. And just like that, the model was gone. I don't think we deep this enough. A private company built a thing so powerful that the federal government of the United States, the same government that lets you buy an AR-15 at a yard sale, saw this model as threat. And not to talk about all the reactions that came from the takedown, vibe coders on Twitter were acting like somebody unplugged their life support. Reddit became one giant therapy session. Discord servers turned to a group counseling. Guys, does anybody still have access? I still have the API. Bro, invite me! I've seen less desperation outside a nightclub at 2 a.m. I don't think y'all truly grasp the magnitude of how fuck we actually are. All of a sudden, that same models came back. Everybody celebrates. Vibe coders are getting non-stop boners fucking with this model. Fireworks. The slopification continues. Under 1 hour of it being back, YouTube videos started pouring in. Oh my gosh, the thumbnails. It's back! This changes everything! Again, for the 14th fucking time this year. But here's the thing. I don't actually give two fucks that Fable 5 is back. Seriously. Because Fable 5 isn't the story, it's the trailer. The movie hasn't even started yet. Everybody keeps talking about how smart AI is becoming. Wrong conversation. The real conversation is what happens when everybody has access to these models. And let's not talk about the people that keep saying, yeah, Fable 5 can code basic things, but it can't create actual useful products. Motherfucker, it can code, it can debug, it can explain the bug, it can tell you why your architecture is dog shit. At this point, the only thing it can't do is convince your dad you're not a disappointment. We've moved way past asking if AI can code. That's like asking if water is wet. The real question is, why the fuck would a company pay you? And before somebody jumps into the comments saying, nah, AI won't replace programmers. Yeah, just like my ex said, he's just a friend. Well, I'll let you guess how that turned out. So just shut the fuck up. Maybe AI doesn't replace every programmer. Maybe it doesn't replace every designer, or even every writer. It doesn't have to. It only has to replace enough people that suddenly the remaining jobs available feels like a deliberate decision not to use AI for it. Welcome to the future. You're no longer competing against talent. You're competing against desperation, and desperation always accepts a lower salary. Think about it. Yesterday, a company needed 20 developers. Today, every developer has an AI assistant that works 24 hours a day, never gets tired, never asks for a raise, never disappears for 2 hours because they were locked in. Now they only need 10. Welcome to the future. The other 10 didn't become worse programmers overnight. They just became expensive. That's the future. Companies aren't going to fire everyone. That's too dramatic. They're going to smile, offer you 30% less. Then they'll look you dead in the eye and basically say, honestly, we're doing you a favor by hiring humans. And you'll actually think about accepting, not because it's a good offer. Because rent doesn't give a fuck about your principles, bills have killed more dreams than AI ever will. And here is the thing I can't quite wrap my heads on. Everybody's legit celebrating because AI can build websites now. Cool. Impressive. But you know what else can build websites? Every unemployed guy with a laptop, 2 monitors, an unhealthy relationship, and enough caffeine in his bloodstream to legally qualify as a chemical weapon. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Remember when saying, I'm a web developer, made people think you were some Silicon Valley genius? Now your 12-year-old cousin types, build me Uber, but for pigeons. The AI goes, certainly, and somehow, the fucking thing works. That's when it hit me. We're celebrating the wrong thing. When everyone can build, building stops being impressive. Nobody's going to ask, can you make a website? Nobody gives a fuck. The question becomes, why should I care about your website? That's a much harder question because AI can build almost anything. It still can't give people a reason to care. And that's where this gets really weird. The barrier to entry is collapsing. And people think that's automatically a good thing. Sometimes it's amazing. But when everyone can build, building stops being valuable. Think about calculators. Nobody brags that they own one. Same thing with electricity. Nobody posts on Instagram because their lights turned on. Same with the internet. Some may even say the internet is cursed. We don't wake up every morning thanking God for Wi-Fi. Technology always follows the same pattern. Step 1, it's magic. Step 2, it's expected. AI is still in the magic phase. Give it 2 or 3 years. Nobody is going to clap because your app was made with AI. They're going to say, and?